And then we'll walk around the compound and see some tigers, and then maybe see some cute Pete's, and maybe some squeaks, and Derek will ramble, walk around the yeah. Miss Snowy, Princess Snowy, up in her tower, trapped and alone, while an evil dragon keeps her there prisoner. Oh, poor Princess Snowy. I would save you, my dear, but I do not wish to be eaten. You're on your own. Yeah, it's one of those times. Wally is in full douche mode. Just really, really thick. Oh my goodness! What? Look at that! Huh? It was outside. Must have been shed. They must have done. I don't know. Maybe they were kind of pawing at the bucket or something like that. Look at that! Look at that! That's a great shard. They shed these. They shed claw shards. Oh, that is a fortuitous find. Neato bandito. Look at that thing. It's big and it is sharp. It is very, very sharp. But yeah, that will yeah, they come out. It's why they sharpen their claws on wood and stuff like that. They sharpen their peats. Yeah. Yeah, do I need to sign for that? Yeah, if you could just leave it there. Thank you there, sir. Thank you. Hold on. Hi. Look at this pretty girl over here. I know. Yeah, there was a very nice UPS, the UPS gentleman, dropping off a package. I had ordered a thing, and he was dropping it off. And it was funny because, okay, sometimes when I'll film the webcasts, I forget to put my phone into airplane mode, and then I'll get calls or I'll get things, and then it's like it hits right in the middle of the flow, and I gotta try to keep it on the rails as much as possible, and like if other people are like blah 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 blah, it takes my focus somewhere else. So I put my phone into airplane mode, so I wouldn't do that. I would have this chunk of time where the phone's not going to ring and something like that, and I knew that there wasn't people like out here working in the compound. UPS guy drives up, and then right over there he's like, "You Derek?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes I am." "Yeah, thanks for you." I'm like, "Thank you, sir." Oh, look at this guy. Look at this man. Mr. Acers. He's got a mattress because his is very old as well. Some of you have been following Heidi Cron on Instagram, seeing that he was up at the house recovering from just a light procedure, a couple of sedations where they were scraping all that gunk off of his face, and it was just his bacteria. It was like different bacterial kind of things that were happening, and then it was also causing like ingrown hairs, and yeah, so they got in there and then they really kind of cleaned him up and scraped him out, and yeah, so decided like that's definitely deserving of a mattress, and he likes it very much. He likes the mattress very much. Yes please mattress. Look at this guy over here, Mr. Tood, Mr. Emo Yeppard. Everyone's kind of got There's like a little bit of like energy today, a little bit. But it is because it was, did we feed yesterday? Yes. Yes. I had to think about it. Like, when did we feed? We fed yesterday. Oh, hi. Fed last night. Yeah. So some of the kitties are, you know. Yeah. They are recovering from all of their proteins. And it's a warm day. It's a warm day. Oh yeah, Raven's outside. No, but it's not hot. It's actually like comfortably warm. And like there's a bit of a breeze, and actually if you're in the sun, it can be a little bit uncomfortable, but if you're in the shade, it's actually very nice. So imagine that. Like the setting is just perfect. You just had a big meal. You lay down on your favorite chair, or maybe a sofa or something like that, you know. Maybe a television program that you really like, but it's not like way over the top or something like that, you know. Maybe like an Antiques Roadshow or something. You just start to doze away. You just start to just go to Sleepy Town. That's kind of what we got going on today. Sure, you could get up, you know, you could go and rearrange the closet that you've been meaning to do for the past 6 months. Or you could just enjoy the air. Oh, hello all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound Webcast. Look at this pretty girl over there. Move over here. There we go. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. I have some schmutz. A little bit. Oh, we saw the Rick and Morty season 3 premiere. Oh, it was great. It was great. Anyone else see it? Anyone else have a craving for Szechuan sauce? Oh, that show's amazing. It's amazing. If you're into like really smart comedy and smart sci-fi, but at the same time you don't mind being just completely irreverent and silly and not taking yourself very seriously, like it's a fantastic show. I mean, moments that are just blindingly brilliant. I mean, so smart. Like interspersed with absolute juvenile, just completely childish, crude humor. I love it. It's a great show. It's a fantastic show. Recommend it. Anyway, there's a face full of murder on my screen. So much murder right here in this rectangle. Murder, murder, murder. See, what do you think? What do I not see it? Whoa, yeah, whoa. I know. It's been raining a lot, so there's a little bit of wetness. She's like, I don't want to get my feet wet. I want to kill you, but I don't want to get my feet wet. If that ground wasn't a little bit moist, you'd have been done for, mister. It's like, yeah. Thanks, rainfall. I went around with the new camera and got some more footage. I'm going to be stitching together another video of the I'm going to try to do more just long form kind of relaxation style videos. I guess they could fall under like the ASMR category. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa. Whoa. Tude Patrol. Tude Patrol. I know. Is she being really mean? Yeah, she's being so protective over her food. She takes it and she puts it inside of her house and then she just locks herself in there. Miss Shanti has the craziest of pants right now. Poor little Naya here is just like, I know. This is what I gotta deal with. It's what I gotta deal with. I have to deal with pants that are crazy. That are so crazy. Yeah. Let's see if we can just casually scoot by without incurring her wrath. Oh yeah. Oh boy. She is none too pleased. None too pleased. I hope that my little this thing is working, because it's very windy out there. It's windy out there where I'm at currently. There. It's windy out here. It's real windy. So I'm hoping that my apparatus has been doing well. Hey, bud. Oh, Mr. Man. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Man. Old fella. Old fella with the whisperiest of mews. Yeah, I know. Looks like you kind of popped whatever that was on your eye. If that was like a cyst or something like that. Yeah. In case some people are going to be wondering, like, what was that? Yeah, sometimes you get like a little cysty kind of thing, and looks like you just kind of rubbed it and so. Yeah. Yeah, I know that you probably have food in there. And there's no way that you're going to be coming out to say hello, or lock up, or do anything involving people. Circle/people. No people, down with people. That's what Solano says. We're going to go over here and look at the bobcats. Because there's a lot of times where I'll do these videos, I don't really showcase them as much as I should. But I mean, a lot of times it's just they don't want me to showcase. They don't want to be showcased. Yeah. There's some peeps though. Some bobcat peeps. My darling. In a world full of fear and doubt, take comfort in knowing that my wiener will always be with you. The winner of Max will save us all. Hi, Bobby. How you doing, pretty girl? Oh, hold on. I need to actually stop the camera. Jeez, Max. Jeez. I try to keep it pretty family friendly on this channel. My gosh. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video really quick. I gotta check something, but then you'll know what I'm gonna be checking here just in a second. So hold on, hold your horses. Actually, okay, if you don't have horses though, I need you to go get some. Okay? I need you to go get some so that they're your horses. And when you have some horses that are yours, I need you to hold them. Okay? So you can hold your horses. Can you do that for me? Alright, hold on for a second. Hold your horses. Teleportation. Teleportation. It's a new app I downloaded. It allows you to teleport. Yes. But I wanted to check because I wanted to check one of the I needed to stop the video. Wanted to check one of the previous Walk Around the Compound webcasts for signs of a familiar face that I could potentially shout out. And I found one. So, and I know I haven't done that. And I'm not, here's the thing, familiar face shout out. I'm not going to do it every single time. I am going to do it sometimes. I haven't done it in a long time. So I got to bring it back. So probably going to see a couple familiar face shout outs here in the next few Walk Around the Compound webcasts. But Today's familiar face shout out goes to Pride member Jessica Boone. Yeah, Jessica Boone, or is it Boone? Boone! Jessica Boone! She's been commenting and I think putting some different things on Instagram, possibly even Twitter, basically saying like, super excited, I'm going to be down there to visit, I'm going to be driving from a place up north, I'm going to be visiting the compound, I'm going to be taking a tour, hashtag so excited, hashtag so excited. My name is Jessica Boone. But yeah, no, thank you very much. I've noticed you commenting on a number of different things in the past, and I appreciate you engaging with the content and engaging in the platform. So yeah, Jessica, you are a familiar face, and I am shouting you out. Oh my gosh! I was shouted out! Yes, you are. Indeed. Look at these little guys. Uh-oh. 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 I know he's gonna go in there because he's got his proteins. He's got his proteins inside of that thing, and he's just like, I don't like it. Like other tigers, my brother, Nadal, he's cool. Bally says if people show up, I go inside and then I say, talk to the butt because I've got some proteins. You can have the proteins when they pass through here. That's when you, but for now, you cannot have them. I am not done with them. They are mine. They are my proteins. Yeah, he's got a leg in there. You can have them once they have been converted into poop. Oh, do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do, high shadow. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Got a couple of kitties who are, you know, a little bit, they're a little bit they got that kind of go away thing. They kind of got that go away thing. So I shall oblige them. So sorry. So sorry. Your Highness, royalty. Oh my goodness, I heard those boys yelling at each other. Goodness and gracious. Excuse me for coughing. I apologize. I apologize. I suppose it's a good time to plug the old Patreon account. If you want to support the BigCatDerek channel, again, help me buy different equipment, maintain certain subscriptions for software licenses and business things, consider contributing to the Patreon. Links in the description below. Help see me out, and then I try to roll that back into making better content for you. So yeah. Not terribly too much going on with this walk around the compound webcast, but that's kind of, you know, a little bit more by choice. Hi. 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 Would you like a shard? Would that make you less cranky? Oh boy. We've got some cranky kitties. I do have to, yeah, this one, I'm trying to, you know, this one is a little bit more specifically, I just want to walk around and talk about the cats. Talk about the cats. Because I know that there's times where I talk about the cats, and then there's times where I'll kind of go off on tangents and I'll talk about different topics that I think are important or things that I find interesting. But there was a cat that was right there. Rasa. She was hidden. She was hidden from me. From mine eyes. From mine eyes. No, but there's, some people, they like the tangents, and then there's other people who say like, no, let's just talk about the cats. And some people are like, let's try to achieve a balance. I think that that's the good way to go about it, is the balance. And this is, what is that? Oh, it's Rachel. It's Rachel closing a door for one of the trailers. Because, yeah, of course, and like some people, they say like, well, this is, you know, and some they say like, well, this is why we came, is because we wanted to be able to hear about the exploits of the facility. But one thing, or like, you know, the day-to-day lives of the actual animals themselves. But you want to also realize that there's only so many things, honestly, that are going to be going on at any one time. And when we talk about the walk around the compound webcast content, which I think that we've got a good schedule going on, I post twice a week, half hour generally per post. And it does get to a point where there's only so many times I can go up and be just like, tiger? Yeah, well, there's Archie. Let's count his stripes again. You know? I mean, there's only so much of that I can do. And what is this, 279? The 279th walk around the compound webcast? After a while, it's like, okay, you start having to branch out. And then other people, they like, I didn't necessarily sign up for the branch out stuff, but I like the branch out stuff. It's actually very fun. And it's thought provoking and it's interesting. And then you go with that. You go with what people like. We all kind of have like actually a hand in the overall direction of this content. We really do. And don't think that you don't, because I listen to people and I hear what they're saying. And it's not even just like the stuff that they'll comment. Like, people will email me. They'll even email Heidi. You know, Derek said a thing on the webcast, and then she's like, "Are you?" And then because Heidi doesn't watch my stuff. Like, she doesn't watch the things because she's. It's like, oh, I don't need to. Like, I live here. I know these animals, and I live with you. I don't need to like have more of that. I'd rather just like, you know. And I think it would be kind of weird if I had a wife like, I'm gonna watch yeah, no, she doesn't watch any of it. She'll watch every once in a while, like when I do something very like specific and it took a lot of time and energy and effort to kind of put together. Yeah, she'll watch that. Like she watched the Shadow. Hi. She watched the jungle chicken video. She's like, that's weird, but you know, it's probably gonna do all right. And I'm like, yeah, it's weird. But no, as far as like watching like the webcast, absolutely not. Like, no, that would be strange. But she will get so that's the thing, like sometimes she'll get people and they'll tell her just like, well, Derek did this thing on the webcast, did you see it? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, he'll talk about certain things and you know, that's how that'll go, and I don't have, you know, and she'll be like, all right, well, and then I'll have to explain like, oh, well, this is what this and this is that, but there was even a few people who it wasn't like, this is the thing, as far as that meat one, that meat webcast that I talked about. And I even said in the webcast itself, and remember this, I even said, like, I understand that I might be taking just like a weird or unreasonable stance on some of these issues, but it is still something that I do feel, based on my very unique set of personal experiences, that's something that you have to realize. Working at this facility, like, giving of myself and then also relying on other people, and again, I probably could have been a little bit better about explaining some of the different various elements, but some people, they got a little bit upset at that webcast. But it sparks a conversation, and I'm very glad that it did. And I don't look, I'm not gonna backtrack or say that, you know, I stand by the things that I said. But even some people, and it wasn't just like, he shouldn't be saying these kind of things. No, they just very matter-of-factly said just like, yeah, we didn't really agree with it. Didn't agree with it. And like, for some of the reasons why, as far as like not necessarily the ideological stance that I was taking, but maybe I was kind of being a little bit too harsh on that person. And then also, and I get it. And they kind of took a little bit of an issue with that. Again, they weren't being like, we're never watching again. But they were like, yeah, they just talked to her and like, yeah, it's a thing. Like, we watch the videos and we like the videos and everything, but that was kind of, it was a little bit kind of, and then sometimes he kind of does it there, and then it's not about the cats, and I won't, so it's, I feel like I want to address some of that stuff, and also give some of the reasons for why that I have eventually kind of come to film things in the way that I have. And this is another thing, like, I don't want people may also put into the comment section, like, well, it's your talent, Derek, you can kind of do what you want, but it's like, I understand that, but I still do want to make sure that I get this without pandering. I don't want to pander, I never want to do that, but I also want to give people context. I don't want to just sit there and just be just like, do it and accept me, and this is who I am. And blah, and it's like, yeah, no, there's reasons. What is going on here? This is weird. That's strange. That's what. And I guess, and I actually enjoyed the fact that there was a lot of people that actually, because this is the other thing about the videos that I post. Overwhelming majority of the of the response I get, and this is pretty universal, overwhelming majority of the responses I get way more thumbs ups than the thumbs downs, way more this than that. But then it's like, of course, maybe just like, well, am I even like trying to, am I saying anything that's even like remotely challenging, or am I just playing things too safe at times? But then at the same time, we're doing a show about cats, and let's see if we can try to make things a little bit more universal. And that's not the purpose of the videos. And again, it's 279 webcasts. It's 279. There's a lot of material. Again, how many stripes do you have? Let's count them again. Let's count them again. Boomer's very cute. I agree. But sometimes it's good to kind of shake things up a little bit. And sometimes I'm going to talk about things that are inside of my head. And sometimes those things are going to, maybe there may be a little bit, I may flesh out ideas that have not been fully formed. There's a lot of times where I don't, there's times when I spend time, really thinking about, the last webcast, you can probably tell, I actually spent a little bit of time kind of writing, okay, I want to talk about this, and then I want to talk about that, and then I want to talk about this. I don't know if you can tell in this one, but in this one, I literally just, I was in my house, I was, replying to some emails, and I was looking at some others. I was looking at Philip DeFranco videos, because I'm a fan of his on YouTube, and I'm like, I should probably do a webcast. And then I just walked outside, and then just popped on my camera. So that's how this one started. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes they're a little bit more pre-planned, and sometimes they're a lot more improvisational. And yeah. And sometimes I'm gonna have to, and even then with some of the people had feedback as far as meat. I guess, and this is another thing that I want to talk about really quick. I think that maybe with some of the meat conversation stuff that I had, that I was touching upon, I don't want to call them apprehensions or anything like that, but I think that maybe I did kind of describe certain people who maybe, when I was talking about people who eat meat and then who don't want to, I was trying to talk about people who eat meat who simply refuse to acknowledge the process. And maybe I should have said not necessarily people who become ill at the process, because then someone put a good point of just some people get ill at the idea or the act of changing diapers, but it doesn't mean that they're against, the concept of being a parent. And I'm like, touche. Touche. Maybe I have to kind of amend the overall message. I was going to come over here and talk to Zuby. Where did he go? Did they go inside? I think they went inside. But that, hey, but you boys, whoa. But I think that's what happened, because that one did get a little bit more negative feedback. Oh, and what I was talking about before, an overwhelming amount, pee! It's on my arm! You bag of piss. But I think that, I've got so many thoughts happening all at the same time. I get a lot of like really positive feedback, and I don't ever want to sit there and think that I'm just in an echo chamber, that I just like will say things, and I'm also talking only to people who just simply want to agree, and then it's again, so having a bit of like that pushback, that was an okay thing. That was great. I like that. It means that we're kind of engaging in a discussion, and I can admit, like, okay, well, there are parts and pieces of that I have to kind of maybe reevaluate. The overall intent and the overall thing is still the same. And again, and this is also, again, based on certain operational considerations that I have based on, my work here. And working with people and working with volunteers. And again, having to rely on people. And then sometimes being disappointed. Wanting to get a job done. And being disappointed. And I even said, doesn't necessarily have to be the most reasonable thing. Doesn't have to be the most reasonable thing. But, I mean, walk in my shoes for 10 years, like, I have, and then maybe I'm just asking, like, think about that perspective, at least. Think about that maybe it's not entirely out of the question that I can have a frustration about, certain things that happen, whereas normal people may not. That's part of what I'm getting at. It was unreasonable. You were kind of being mean to that guy. Like, I understand, and you're probably right. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, my life is a little bit different than a lot of other people's, Gosh, there's another point that I wanted to make. There's another point that I wanted to make, and I don't want to shut the camera off until I get to it, because it's going to be like a thing, like a thought. It's inside my brain, itching my brain. It's going to be too difficult. And then it's going to be one of those weird things where it's like I'm going to just like start it back up, like, oh yeah, my thought. No, I want to have a nice clean dismount this time. I want to have a nice clean dismount. Oh, I know what I was going to be talking about. Because it was about that whole thing about I get a lot of positive feedback, and then I did get a bit of negative feedback. And I think that what happened, and again, when we're talking about the idea that I do these things or these webcasts, and maybe they're not the most fully formed conceptual, presentation. Maybe it's not the most fully formed presentation. And I'm kind of talking out loud. And I think that what was happening, again, before I was beginning this, I didn't end it, but talking about the idea of people who consume meat and then will refuse to acknowledge like what goes into that, refuse to acknowledge that there's potentially suffering that happens, not just people who just simply have physiologic responses towards gore. That's different, and I'll admit that that's different. But I'm talking about people who, they will emotionally kind of shut themselves off. And I wonder if maybe I kind of tapped into some people's psyche as far as some of that stuff is concerned, that maybe they have, they've wrestled with that. And this is like, sometimes like this is the other thing, I talk about concepts sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like, you don't want to think that I'm like talking specifically to you sometimes. And it's weird because I'm talking to people. But sometimes people, they can take a certain message and they can really internalize it. And if that happened, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I think that, and I'm making assumptions here. I think that could be part of it. Ugh, this one's getting old. This one's getting all over the place. I'm trying. Oh, I should have just stuck to the cats. I did. I was even sitting there thinking like, yeah, you know, I wanted to stick to the cats because then sometimes when I go on tangents, like it turns people off and everything. And what do? I get onto a tangent. On the and my springboard for getting on a tangent was talking about how I sometimes need to avoid going on tangents. I'm sorry. I'm a mess. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed the webcast. Oh. As always, it's a pleasure talking to you folks. I really do appreciate the feedback, if it's positive or if it's negative, or if you think that maybe I, you know, have certain things. I'm still gonna do my thing. I'm gonna be me. There's certain things, and I'll take people's stuff into account, you know. But yeah, I still, there's times where it's like, okay, well that's a good idea, and I'll add that to my overall sense of character, I guess. And then there's other times where it's like, I see what you're saying, but I think I'm just gonna keep on doing things my way. But that's okay. But we're still conversing, and that's okay. Looks like Solana did decide to come out after all. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye bye.